Welcome to Anecdotes for Success with Matt and Paul. Storytelling is an art form, emphasizing the value and learning that is created through personal experience. Our purpose is to share these stories and experiences with the listener. Everyone has a powerful testimony. Let's use them to level up to our best life with truth, meaning, trade-offs, and perspective.
Big shout out to Isaac Mather for the new podcast intro. You can check Isaac's music out on all socials or directly at isaacmathermusic.com. Okay, here we go, Matt. We're busy, as is everybody, right? I mean, it's all perspective.
Yeah, everyone's busy, but what do you do with it? We all got the same time, right? What do you do with it?
Yeah, and so we're shifting gears a little. We're doing next couple weeks till winter hits, and time seems to be less scarce because it's dark half the day.
That today felt like one of those days for me.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow, it's heading that way. Yeah.
Yeah, golf practice was canceled, but I went out and played 18 holes by myself in the drizzle anyways.
Good.
It's funny when you don't do much of something, that stuff doesn't matter, right? But if I was down in Florida every day, I'm not playing golf in the drizzle in 50-degree weather. So we're shifting gears, 10, 15-minute bursts on basically not necessarily the steps to start a business, but the steps, the action, the mindset to start a business. And I'm going to start today. I almost gave it away before we recorded. I had my students today. I surprised them. They had 15 minutes, one slide, a way to make money. And they're like,
Okay.
They go, does it have to be a business? I go, well, what's the definition of business? And one kid, he goes, well, I think it's just the exchange of goods and services between people. So I'm like, so I guess it has to be a business, but it doesn't have to be a business like you think it does.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
I think kids today are getting sick of the term side hustle
Okay.
and gig. And so I was like, just think of a way to make money. And they came up with great ideas from power washing, the basic ones, power washing to dog walking. I wrote them down, didn't bring them. But you know how many people are going to follow through with it?
Well, maybe if one, that would be a high percentage.
Yeah, out of 32 kids, none, because
Yeah.
they're seniors. They're focusing on college and debt and all the other things they want to do. And it blows my mind. Half of them really had low-cost ideas ready to roll to make some money, and they don't do it. One kid talked about getting free stuff off of Facebook Marketplace and just flipping it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't do it. So I guess that's the question I'm going to ask you. I want you to answer in the next 10, 11 minutes. I don't think it's hard to think of an idea to make money. What's the next step?
Well, that's the thing too. It's like you don't even have to have your own idea, right? Nothing you said there, power washing, flipping
Right.
dog, none of those are anyone's own idea. Those have been ideas. But the fact of the matter is they're kind of tried and true. You could do those things and make money. But people don't. I mean, you said, well, their seniors are not going to do it. How about this? I talked to just this week. What's today? Wednesday or whatever. I don't know. It was this week, last week. Someone who was in their late 30s having the same, I got this idea, but so whether they're 18, 17 or 38, it's the same. I see the same thing over and over and over again. Paul, the question to me isn't so much, why don't they do it? I think that answer seems to be kind of clear. Like, people want the path of least resistance in their lives. People want ease. People want they want safety. They want, I mean, I think the answer to that is, well, I would have to change what I normally do, right? I'd have to put down the remote. I'd have to learn something I don't know about, or I'd have to take some risk. I'd have to get uncomfortable, and we can talk till we're blue in the face. Just most people they're just never going to move off that spot. Like, I'm comfortable and I will not move off of it. Now, do I think that's good for them? Absolutely not. I think and anybody who listens to me for any length of time knows what I think. I think it's horrible for you. I forget the money part. Forget the fact that, like, you get more money and therefore, I don't know what, you can have a nicer car or a bigger house, or retire sooner, or take care of your children, or take care of your parents, or take care of your church, or take care of your community. Some wonderful things out there. But let's say you don't care about any of that. That's totally fine. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. It doesn't matter to me. What For me, it's not that. It's never been that, and never will be that. It's like, who are you? Are you someone who just goes, I'm going to do as little as possible? Hopefully I'll get I'm going to do as little as possible to get what I need in order to basically keep plugging along in this life until what? I don't know, until I retire, and then I'll get whatever my retirement happens to be, and then I'll just kind of survive throughout it, right? I'll use that, live the lifestyle that affords, whatever that happens to be, and that will get eaten away over time due to inflation. And then, so I will just live worse and worse and worse from a lifestyle standpoint until I die, and that's my plan. And that, to me, is the thing that I can't lock in on it. I cannot figure that out. That's part of it. And the other part is, like, who do you want to be? Who do you want your children to think you are? Your grandchildren? What do you want those retirement years to look like? For me, it's continued evolution, continued desire to learn, continued challenges, and to be the best like version of me that I can be. I look at what I'm looking at right now, you with that beautiful building behind you, and all that. Like, that's a legacy for you. That's a statue in some way. That's a living, breathing organism that you've put together from scratch. Forget the money it makes and all that kind of stuff. You and your wife have created that out of nothing. Th- that that's incredible. And most people, their answer to that is, well, why would I want to do that when I can just sit and waste away on my couch? And they might not consciously be saying that, but that's what they're saying through their inaction.
Yeah. And when I trick the kids a little, when I say, what can you do to make money? I, it's not about money. People want money. The happiest people never stop making it. I mean, they keep doing, right?
Doing,
Uh,
yeah.
I know what makes me happy is to be able to learn, to help people and serve others,
Hmm.
and to never stop having a purpose.
Yeah.
And, when I was just married and had kids, that was different. I spent so much time coaching and following my kids around. That's different. Well, there's a void now.
Purpose.
Yeah, and there's a void, and I have to do it. And when this goes or becomes more on cruise control, or maybe I just stay with it, I'll go on to the next project. Human beings are born to keep doing, not to
Mm-hmm.
not to sit and waste away.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked the kids why to start off class, I always talk about money. Someone goes, you always talk about money. I go, well, how much is irrelevant? It's perspective on your lifestyle. But when you have money, it gives you freedom, it gives you choice, and it gives you happiness. I mean, I'm preaching to I mean, I probably stole those three things from you. but but you save money and you have side hustles and little things you do, and you cut expenses. When you're 40 and tired of what you're doing, you have the freedom and choice to move on and do something else. That creates happiness. I'm the happiest I've ever been as an educator right now because I don't need to be an educator right now. Like, I do it because I want to. I'm not
Yeah.
stuck. It's not the final countdown till
Yeah.
I can just waste away to nothing. And I feel like everybody has those ideas. The next step is to just do
Do it.
something.
something, I agree with you. Just take a step. Take that step. You've got to take that leap, that jump. And that, Paul, is where it bogs down. It's like, I can't because, right? I will when. I will when my wife retires. I will when the kids are out of school. I will when I get the, a raise, or I have a few more dollars and saved, or when, whatever. That's the stopping point. I will when. And I have relationships with people I've known for decades who've been telling me I will win for decades.
Yeah.
And that's a sticking point for people. And then, all of a sudden they're 55 years old and they looking and go, and it's like, it's in their mind, now I'm too old, or whatever. But it's you have to make the start, the leap, the jump. And as to your point, Paul, I think the most important thing that you said there is just the purpose, the purposefulness of it. And we're living longer and longer as just human beings. And medical science will continue to advance, and we'll all continue to live on average longer and longer. And there's just a lifestyle part of this that has to be considered as well. If you're going to retire at 55 years old, and statistically you're going to live to 85, or if you're female, 90 roughly, if you've lived that long anyway already, I think 55 gets you to almost 90 for a female. You got 35 years to live. Are you gonna spend 35 years on some sort of 401k or pension or IRA? I mean, sit down with a professional, put that into one of those calculators. They're everywhere, they're out there, I use them all the time. And tell me what your life, your buying power looks like at 75, after average inflation of, they'll say 3%, but that's because a consumer price index gets adjusted by bureaucrats. I don't even think 3% is accurate. I think it's closer to 5% a year. You're losing on your money, and even if you have some kicker that helps increase it year to year, it's not enough to keep up with inflation. So, people should do that. You're in for a rude awakening. Most people are in for a rude awakening, and to me, living my golden years isn't about cutting coupons and pinching pennies and staying in all the time because I can't afford to do anything. It's about, doing the things that I've always wanted to do and couldn't do before, particularly with my loved ones. So to me, I need more income, more money to spend when I'm older. That's my plan. I need more than I have today because I have more free time, and inflation's going to never end, because we're on a fiat currency. So I need more money, not less. And that's a short-sightedness of far too many people.
And you certainly can't stop working and expect to keep the same lifestyle. It just
No,
it doesn't happen. So
doesn't
I
happen.
think I think the biggest advice we could say for step one, it really doesn't even matter what you're thinking of doing. The point is just to take the next step and keep going. That's it. Sum it up.
That just keep going. Just keep going. I mean, you didn't lose. You're not. It's not. There's no clock on you, right? It's not a
No,
basketball game. You just keep going. You didn't lose until you just quit. And I've had failures, plenty of them, and most people have. You just to see, it's like, what's the secret? Well, I just never stopped,
no.
and I don't think that's that difficult to
Well,
just keep going. Doesn't have to be
so
huge. You just have to keep going.
so that's it to people listening to this. The assignment before our next podcast, keep going. And then we're going to tell you the next step after that, which I don't want to give away today.
Yeah,
So, hey, thank you. Till next time, these short little bursts are going to be the way it is for a little while.
sounds good.
All right, see you, Matt.
See ya.